Good evening. Today we'll be studying the 7th chapter of Hilchot Gerushin. This chapter will deal with the procedure of an agent, a shaliach, delivering a get, and exactly how that process is done. The differences between a shaliach bringing and delivering the get from Eretz Israel, um, as opposed to bringing it and delivering it outside of Eretz Israel. Uh, a shaliach that was brought by a get who was pasul edut, and other details pertaining again the kiyum, the fulfillment of the get on behalf of a shaliach, on behalf of an agent. Hilchot Gerushin Perek Zayin Halacha Aleph. Shaliach shehevi get mimakom lemakom be'eretz Yisrael. An agent that brought a get from place to place within Eretz Yisrael. Aval pi shelo ra'a ketivat haget velo yada mihen edav. Even if he did not see the writing of the get, and he does not know who the witnesses of the get are, ella natan lo haba'al get ve'amar lo ten get ze leishti, hare ze notno lah בפני שיניים, ואף על פי שאין עדיו ידועים אצלנו, ותהיה מגורשת ותינשא בו. The husband simply gives the get to the agent and tells the agent, deliver this get to my wife. The agent may deliver it provided there to edim there, even though we do not know who the edim are. She is considered to be megoreshet and can marry someone else with this type of get. Halacha bet. Baha ba'al ve'ir'ir. If the husband comes and contests the validity of this get, ve'amar, and he says the following, Lo gerashti me'olam ve'get shehuva lah mezuyafhu, itkayem behotmav. If the husband says that I never divorced this woman, and the get that was brought to her is fraudulent, the get is validated and stands through the signature of the edim on the get. לא נתקיים או לא נודעו עדיו כלל, תצא, והוולד ממזר שהרי אינה מגורשת. But if the get was not validated and the edim that are signed on the get are not known to the court, and we cannot validate their signatures, the woman must leave her second husband if she married, and her children with this second husband are considered mamzerim because she was never megoreshet. Avad haget, if the get was lost and the husband protested and contested the validity of the get that was given, harezu safek megoreshet, the wife is safek megoreshet. Lefikach, halacha gimel. Nashim shchazkatan shehen sonot zo et zo. If there are women that the presumption is that they dislike each other, to say the least, they are not believed to have brought a get in Eretz Israel to one another. Shema mezuyafu, because the get may be fraudulent. V'titkaven lekalkelota, and she may purposely try and pretty much ruin the other woman's life and bring misfortune upon her. Because she may have married and be forbidden to her second husband. Halacha, you're still in halacha gimel. Ve'elu hen hanashim shehizkatan sonot zo et zo. And the following are the women for whom we presume to dislike each other. Hamotah, the wife's mother-in-law. Uvat hamotah, and the mother-in-law's daughter. Vetzaratah, and her co-wife. For example, if two women were married to one man, the other wife. Afilu hayetah hatzara nesu'a la'acher, even if the co-wife was now married to someone else. Ahotah, Vivimtah, va'afilu hayeta ahotah, and her sister-in-law, even if she was her own sister. Uvat ba'ala, and her husband's daughter. Aval she'ar kol hanashim kesherot, but any woman aside from these mentioned, are considered to be valid to deliver the get inside the borders of Eretz Israel, because these women, it's probable, not probable, but the presumption is, for the purposes of gitin that will be delivered, is that they dislike each other and have a certain interest in causing misfortune to the other women. Halakha Dalet. Hanavi get mimakom lemakom be'eretz Israel. Someone who brings a get and delivers it um, inside the borders of Eretz Israel, v'hala one enas, and that the agent and the person bringing the get falls ill or got stuck in delivering the get, mishalleho beyad acher, he has the ability to send it with somebody else. V'chen hasheni, so to the second person, im hala mishalleho beyad acher, if he got sick, he may send it through another agent. And this process can continue up for even 100 agents that are sent by the other, provided they fell sick or got stuck. And we don't require edim to be present once the shaliach, the appointment is made. And the final individual that they get is in his hand, and he is doing the delivery to the wife. He must deliver it in the presence of two witnesses, and she is fully divorced with in this case. Even though the original shaliach died because he appointed someone else to deliver it for him, the get is valid, provided it was delivered in the presence of two witnesses. Halacha. Shaliach shehevi get mimakom lemakom bechutz la'aretz. Now, moving on to a different topic but related. An agent that delivered a get from one place to another outside of Eretz Israel, or Eretz Israel lechutz la'aretz, or from Eretz Israel to outside of Eretz Israel, or michutz la'aretz le'Eretz Israel, or from outside of Eretz Israel, came to deliver it inside Eretz Israel. Im haya shaliach omed sham b'shat ketivat haget v'chatimo. If the agent was present at the time of the writing and signing of the get, he may say in the presence of two others, the get was written in my presence and signed in my presence. And then he delivers the get in the presence of two other witnesses, and the woman is divorced through this process. Even if the two others do not know the edim that are signed on the document. Even if the edim signed on the document have the names of non-Jews, we don't suspect that the document is forged, because we don't suspect, again, that the people who signed the document are goyim, because outside of Israel, many Jews call themselves names of non-Jews, as anyone who lives outside of Israel knows that this is the case. So again, we don't suspect just because we don't suspect anything, even if the names are of goyim. The names signed on the document are names of goyim. If the husband came and contested the validity of the get, and mashgihin ala, we don't pay attention to him. Lefikach, therefore, av hanashim shesonot zo et zo neemanot lehavi get ze velomar befanai nichtav ubefanai nichtam. Therefore, if there are women that the presumption is that they dislike one another, they do have the ability to deliver the get to the husband. Deliver the get to the wife, to the women, and we don't suspect that just in the case of the get that was delivered by these women that dislike each other inside Israel, we suspect that the document was forged. In this case, we do not suspect for that. again, provided that they say that the get was written and signed in my presence. וכן השליח שהביא גט בארץ ישראל ואמר, so to an agent that brings a get inside Eretz Israel and says the following, בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם, that the get was signed um, and written in my presence, אף על פי שאינו צריך, even if though he does not need to say this, אם יבוא הבעל ויערער אין משגיחין בו, if the husband comes and protests the validity of the get, we don't pay attention to it. הלכה זין, ואם אין השליח עומד בשעת כתיבה וחתימה, but if the agent is not present at the time of the writing and signing of the get, לא יינתן לה אלא אם כן יתקיים בחותמיו. The get should not be given to her unless the document is validated by those who signed it. ויש לשליח להיות מכלל השלושה שיקיימו אותו בחותמיו. And the agent may be one of the three people who validate the get with their signature. And because in order to validate the get, we need a court of three individuals. And again, the shaliach may be one of these three, because the rule is that for things that are midrabanan, the witness may be part of the betin, as we'll see in halacha yod tet of this chapter. ואם לא נתקיים ונתן לה, הרי זה פסול עד שיתקיים. And if the get was not validated and was delivered to the woman, the get is pasul until it becomes validated by a court of three people. ואם בא הבעל וערער, and if the husband comes and protests the validity of the get, ולא נתקיים, אינה מגורשת. And if the husband comes and protests and the get was not validated, she is not considered מגורשת. Avad haget harezo safek megoreshet. And again, if the get was lost, similar to in Eretz Israel, the get was lost, she is safek megoreshet. הלכה ח' ומפני מה הצריכו לומר בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם בחוץ לארץ? And why do we necessitate the agent to say that the get was written and signed in his presence outside of Eretz Israel? כדי שלא תהיה האישה צריכה לקיימו אם יבוא הבעל ויערער, מפני שאין העדים מצויים לקיימו ממקום למקום בחוץ לארץ. Because we don't want and we don't expect from the woman to validate the get if the husband comes and protests, because outside of Eretz Israel, we don't assume that the edim are present and they're accessible and will be able to find them, in contrast to Eretz Israel, where it's a relatively small country and everyone knows each other, and the edim would be accessible. Halakha tet. בעל שהביא ראיה ברורה שגט זה שנאמר בו בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם מזויף, הרי זה בטל. If the husband comes and brings a ironclad proof, and a very clear proof, that the get on which it was said that it was signed and written in my presence, that it is fraudulent, the get is batel. The husband can bring a re'aya berura by bringing two witnesses, for example, that say that the get is fraudulent. שלא האמינו דבריו של האחר שאמר בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם, אלא לדחות ערעור הבעל שאין עמו ראיה. Because we only say that בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם in order to override a protest by the husband who doesn't have any proof. אבל במקום עדים שמכחישים אותו, לא האמינו. But if there are edim, for example, or clear proof that the husband brings to that seem to argue and contradict this individual who says "Befanai nechtav, befanai nechtam," we do not believe him. Rather, we believe the clear proof that the husband may bring. Halacha yod. הנהרות שבארץ ישראל והננסין שבים הגדול. The lakes in Eretz Israel and the islands in the Mediterranean Sea, שבתוך התחום של ארץ ישראל, הרי הן כארץ ישראל. Those that are within the boundary of Eretz Israel are considered to be part of Eretz Israel. ושחוץ לתחום כחוץ לארץ. And those that are outside of the borders are considered חוץ לארץ. ובהלכות תרומות יתבארו תחומי ארץ ישראל. And in the laws of Tirumot, Perek Aleph, we will clarify exactly what the borders of Eretz Israel are. Uvavel ke Eretz Israel legitin. And Bavel is regarded just like Eretz Israel for the purposes of Gitin. And for anyone who doesn't know, Bavel is the area of southeast Iraq of today, that there was a large Jewish community during the time of the Talmud, and travel from Eretz Israel to Bavel was very common back in the day. Halacha Yod Aleph. Get sheketavo be'Eretz Israel v'hatamo b'chutz la'aretz. A get that was written in Eretz Israel and signed outside of Eretz Israel. Tzarich sheyomar b'fanai nichtav u'b'fanai nichtam. It must, for this type of get, it must be said בפני נכתב ובפני נחתם. כתבו בחוץ לארץ וחתמו בארץ, אינו צריך לומר בפני נכתב ובפני נחתם. If it was written outside of Eretz Israel and signed in Eretz Israel, we don't necessitate this get, the agent delivering this get, to say בפני נכתב ובפני נחתם. לחיות ב' נכתב מקצת הגט בפניו ונכתב כולו בפניו. If a little bit of the get was written in his presence, and the entire thing was signed in his presence. If the beginning part of the get was the part that was in his presence was the beginning part, the agent may say, even if only one line was written in his presence, and even if he simply heard the sound of the pen being written on the document, and the agents and the witnesses signed the document, the agent can say in this case, so too if the scribe leaves for a moment and goes to the marketplace, and comes back and completes the get, we don't suspect that another husband encountered the scribe and now he is writing the get for another woman, and he's writing it again for another man, the get for another man. The agent rather says in this case in which the scribe leaves and comes back. Amar b'fanai nechtav, aval lo b'fanai nechtam. If the shaliach says b'fanai nechtav, but does not say b'fanai nechtam, b'fanai nechtam, aval lo b'fanai nechtav. If he says b'fanai nechtam, but he doesn't say b'fanai nechtav, b'fanai nechtav v'hatam et ehad. Or if he says b'fanai nechtav, that the document was written in my presence, but only signed with one witness in my presence. Avaloha ed hasheni, and the second witness did not sign it. Afilu in my presence. Afilu haya ha'ed hasheni hareze yitkayem bechotamav v'achar kach yinaten la. Even if he happened to be the second witness, the get is valid and is invalidated with the signatures on the get and then given to the woman. Ve'im ha'id hu ve'acher al hasheni ha'ed hasheni shelo hatam b'fanav hareze kasher v'yinaten la. If he and another testified on the second witness that it was not written in their presence, that it was not signed in their presence, the get is valid and may be delivered to whoever. And we obviously don't need to say that if two others testified that the second signature of the signature of the second witness was valid, that obviously the get in this case is valid. If two agents deliver a get outside of Eretz Israel, Even if it was not written and signed in their presence, because of the fact that the husband gave it to them in order for them to deliver it to his wife. These two people deliver it to her, and she is considered divorced. Because in this case, the husband cannot protest this type of get. Even if it is not validated, because these two people who are delivering the get are the husband's witnesses for which he signed and is delivering the document. Sorry, not the ones who signed, rather they are delivering the document. Because if these two people would say that this woman was divorced in our presence, she would be considered megoreshet. Even if there was no get, and the husband simply tells the woman, at megoreshet, and he writes it to her, and these people were present, she would be considered megoreshet, even if the woman doesn't necessarily have the get. הלכה ט"ו, במה דברים אמורים? When is this said? בזמן שהגט יוצא מתחת ידי שניהן. This is only in a case in which the get is procured by the two שליחים. אבל בזמן שאינו יוצא מתחת ידם, but if the get is not procured by the two of them, צריכים לומר בפנינו נכתב ונחתם. They must say בפנינו נכתב ונחתם. That the document was signed and written in our presence. Therefore, אם אמר אחד בפני נכתב, if one of them say that בפני נכתב, והאחר אומר בפני נכתב, and the other says that בפני נחתם, that it was signed in my presence, אפילו שניים אומרים בפנינו נכתב, and the two of them say that it was written in their presence, ואחד אומר בפני נחתם, and only one of them says that it was signed in their presence, הואיל ואינו יוצא מתחת יד שניהם, because it is not procured by the two of them, לא יינתן לה עד שתתקיים בחותמיו. It may not be given to the women unless, again, or until rather, the get is validated by the people by those who signed the document. Amar Ehad, if one of the agents say, בפני נכתב, ושניים אומרים בפנינו נכתב. If one of them say it was written in my presence, and the two say that it was signed in our presence, it is kasher, אבל פי שאינו יוצא מתחת ידם, שהרי נתקיים בחותמיו. Even if it was not procured by the two of them, because it is validated by those who signed it, and the two of them again say that it was signed in their presence, the get is considered to be kasher. הלכה י"ז, שליח שהביא גט מחוץ לארץ, ונתנו לה בינו לבנה. If a shaliach brought a get from outside of Eretz Israel and delivered it to the women without edim, or he delivers it in the presence of two witnesses, but does not say that it was, does not say even if she remarried, the agent must take the get, he must re-deliver it to the women in the presence of two witnesses. He must say in their presence, and if he does not take the get and re-deliver it to her in the presence of two witnesses and say, the get is invalid, it is pasul, until the signatures on the get are validated. נתנו ולא הספיק לומר בפני נכתב ובפני נחתם, עד שנשתתק, הרי זה יתקיים בחותמיו, ואחר כך יינתן לה. If he delivered it to the women, and he did not have time, and the individual lost his speech, and did not have time to say בפני נכתב ובפני נחתם, the get is considered to be validated with the signatures. No, sorry. The get must be validated. The signatures of the get must be validated, and only then can the agent deliver it to her. הלכה י"ז הסומא אינו יכול להביא גט זה של לחוץ לארץ מפני שאינו יכול לומר בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם. Someone who is mute cannot deliver a get outside of Eretz Israel, cannot be rather an agent to deliver a get outside of Eretz Israel, because he cannot say בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם. לפיכך, therefore, אם נכתב ונחתם לפניו כשהיה פיקח, if it was written and signed while this person was normal and was not mute, ונסתמה, and he became mute, הרי זה עומד בפני שלושה, בפני נכתב ונחתם ונותנו לה. Sorry, mehila, a blind man. This is in the case of a blind man, mehila. A soma. Soma is a blind person. That a soma cannot deliver a get outside of Eretz Israel because he is unable to declare that it was written in my presence and signed in my presence because, again, the individual is blind and cannot, and he cannot validate the fact that it was written or signed in his presence. לפיכך, therefore, אם נכתב ונחתם כשהפיקח, if it was signed and written in his presence before he became blind, ונסתמה, and then he became blind, הרי זה עומד בפני שלושה, בפני נכתב ונחתם ונותנו לה. He may say and has the ability to say, and we trust him to say that it was written and signed in his presence. Again, he must say it in the presence of three others, and then he can deliver it to the women. Halakha Yudhet וכן האישה שהביאה גט זה של לחוץ לארץ. So to a woman who was appointed to be an agent to deliver a get outside of Eretz Israel, צריכה שלושה לומר בפניהם, בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם. She has to declare in the presence of three people that it בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם. שלא אמרו בפני שניים, אלא בזמן שהשליח קשה לעדות, because we only said that בפניי נחתם ונחתם and can be delivered by the agent in the case of two, when the agent himself was kasher לעדות, he was valid for testimony, שהרי הוא מצטרף עם השניים, because he can be counted in addition with the two others. ונמצא מכלל השלושה שקיימו גט זה בדבריו, and we now find, because he is counted with the two others, there are now three that the get can be validated in their presence. שהעד נעשה דיין בדבר שהוא מדבריהם, because an ed, a witness, may be considered to be a judge and considered part of the beit din for things that are midirabanan. And again, this is an important rule to keep in mind, as we'll see Be'ezat Hashem in later halachot, that she'ed nasa dayan bedavar shehu midibrehem, that an ed may be considered as a judge for one of the three people in items that are midrabanan. Halacha yotet hala hashaliach on enas. If the agent became sick or became stuck, ba levet din. He comes to the bedin and tells them that this get בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם, והם משלחים אותו ביד שליח אחר, and they send the document in the hand of another שליח. ואין האחרון צריך לומר בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם, and the second individual does not need to say בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם, אלא אומר שליח בית דין אני, rather he says that he is a messenger of the court, ונותנו לה בפני עדים, and he delivers the document in the presence of witnesses. חלה השני או נאנס, if the second individual became sick or got stuck, עושה שליח אחר בבית דין, another שליח is appointed in the presence of בית דין, אפילו 100, even 100 individuals, והאחרון אומר שליח בית דין אני, ונותנו לה, אף על פי שמת השליח הראשון. And the final person who delivers the get says that he is a messenger of the court and delivers it to the women, even though the first original shaliach may have died. Why do we need a beit din in this case to to appoint a new shaliach. Because the first individual must say בפני נכתב ובפני נחתם. אבל אם מתקיים הגט בחותמיו, אף על פי שנתנו שליח לשליח אפילו 100 בינם לבין עצמן עד שהגיע הגט לידה, הרי זה כשר. But if the get was validated by the signatures on it, even if it was given from agent to agent, up even to 100 people privately, and the agent was not appointed in the presence of Betin, once the get was delivered to the women, it is a valid get. And in this case, the get that is validated by its signatures is considered like a get that is delivered inside the boundaries of Eretz Yisrael. And in that case, again, as we mentioned previously in Halakha Daled, you don't need to say Befanai Nechtav uBefanai Nechtam. ואף על פי שלא פירש הבעל ולא אמר לו שלחו ביד אחר, אם חלה או נאנס, הרי זה משלחו. And even if the husband did not explicitly say for him to appoint another agent, if that agent that the husband appointed became sick or got stuck, he may appoint another agent. הלכה כ"א, כל העושה שליח, anyone who appoints another agent. אינו צריך שיהיה השליח עמו בבית דין, אלא אומר להן, הרי פלוני שלוחי. The appointment of the agent does not need to be done in the presence of Bet Din. Rather, he just says and states, behold, Peloni is my agent. Even if the appointment is not in the presence of the Shaliach himself. So too, an agent may appoint another agent, even if the second agent is not in the presence while the appointment is going on. Even going on to 100 different agents. Halakha Kav Bet. Ha'ish shenatan get liishto, an individual who delivered a get to his wife, v'nechtav v'nechtam befaneha, and it was signed and written in her presence, ve'amar lah, and the husband tells her, hare at sheluha leholacha ad bedin peloni, you are my agent to deliver the document until some bedin peloni, whatever bedin he says, and they will appoint an agent to deliver the get to you, and by that you will be divorced. This woman is believed to say, and the bedin takes the document from her and gives it to a shaliach, and the shaliach gives it to the wife, just as the husband desired and explicitly stated. Halakha Kaf Gimal, Bameh Devarim Amurim. When is this so? Beshehitna aleha haba'al tenai. This is only so when the husband made and stipulated this condition. Aval im lo hitna aleha. But if the husband did not stipulate this, ella natan la gita. Rather, he gave her the get. Get yotze mitachat yadah, and the get is procured from the women. She does not need to say anything. And she is presumed to be divorced. Because the get that is procured by her is written according to the halacha, and the edim and there are edim signed on it. Even though we don't know the script and handwriting of the witnesses, and it is not validated, we don't suspect that the women made a fraudulent get, because the women would not want to bring bad things onto herself. And if a woman would do this and make and create a fraudulent get, because it is something that can be revealed, she would have to divorce her second husband if she remarried, and children that she had with the second husband would be considered mamzerim, and she would lose the money of the ketuvah from her original husband and from her second husband, as we'll see in Perek Yod Bet. And a woman would would not want to put herself in this type of situation. Therefore, we don't suspect that she made a counterfeit get, um, if again it was procured by her and signed by edim. בעוד שהעדים החותמים על הגט הרי הן כמי שנחקרו עדותם בבית דין עד שיהיה שם מערער. And the edim that signed this get are as if they were checked, and their testimony was checked by the bedin, until there is someone that comes and protests the validity of this get. Therefore, if again the woman procures the get, she may remarry, and we presume the get to be valid. And we don't suspect that it is counterfeit. Just as we would consider valid a get that an agent delivers, until the husband comes and protests the validity of this get, or until he brings a valid proof that it is counterfeit, or if the get would be batel, or if it would be void. Halacha kavdalid, final halacha, she'im tavo lahush dvarim elu v'chayotze behem, because if we come and suspect that the women faked and made a counterfeit get, or suspect anything of this sort, we might as well suspect that a get would be counterfeit, even a get that was delivered by the husband in the presence of bedin. Because we may suspect that the husband himself did bitul on the get and then gives the get, that in this case the get would be batel, or because we might suspect, or because another suspicion that we may have is that the edim who signed the document are invalid, and it has an inherent flaw and is counterfeit inherently, the get. Or we might come to, or another suspicion that we can have is that the get was not written for the specific woman. And just as we don't suspect for any of these things that we just mentioned, or anything of that sort, rather we presume the get to be valid until we have a reason to suspect that it is invalid. So too we don't suspect the agent to deliver a counterfeit get, or a get that a woman herself procures, because forbidden matters and items of isurin, for example, a get, is not like items of mammon, monetary items, because in cases of monetary things, we first must prove the validity of the contract or of the document before we give it any legal standing. But again, in this case, we presume the get to be valid if the woman procures it, or if it was delivered by the agent, or even, obviously, if it was delivered by the husband in the presence of Bet Din. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen ve'amen.